All right, my name is Chris Sentz. I'm the founder and CEO of F13 Works. We're a retail software company. And in full transparency, some of the apps that I'll be talking about tonight are apps that we develop, run, or support for a myriad of companies that we work with. So just a heads up. We are talking about dropshipping. And my BuzzFeedy title, is there an echo? 7 mistakes to avoid in dropshipping and e-commerce fulfillment. So dropshipping, if you're not aware, is an amazing, amazing thing. All the top retailers in e-commerce are doing this. Amazon, 52% of their retail products that they send out are dropships. 66% of their revenue is from dropshipping. So dropshipping is much more profitable than their core business of selling products. There's a lot of other businesses they do that are much more profitable. Wayfair does over $3 billion in dropship furniture every year. And dropshipping is simple. Manufacturer makes a product, retailer sells a product to a customer, and the retailer never touches that product. How many of you guys are dropshipping in the room tonight? Okay, that's a small number. How many of you guys have a store in general? Okay, a little more. So if you have a store and you're not dropshipping, I hope I can change your mind. If you want to be like, a multi-billion-dollar company, then you'll probably want to dropship sooner than later. I started a store. My first venture was in 2004, and we did not dropship. And to think of the things we could have done with dropshipping is amazing. So I get pretty excited about it. Where to start? So Shopify is an amazing platform. You can start in the Shopify App Store. There are a bunch of apps that off the shelf enable you to dropship and be very powerful with your merchandising. So when you're thinking about dropshipping, what you want to think about is all this stuff. So I'm not going to read through. You guys can read. But it's really important to think about what products you're putting on your site, how those fit your brand, and what the customer expectations are. So those of you who don't dropship but you have an online store, it's probably because you want control, right? You want to control the products, you want to control the customer experience, and that's a powerful thing. You can do that with dropshipping. You can also do a lot of other amazing things with dropshipping. If you look at what successful companies are doing with it, they're taking products that they sell and fulfill, and they're extending their aisle. So they say, hey, I have 1,000 SKUs. I'm going to add 2,000 extra SKUs that I don't fulfill so that my customers have a better offering, more reasons to come back to my site, and I can learn what my customers want. If you sell socks and you say, do my customers want underwear with these socks? You're going to buy into it. You're going to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in that product. It's stupid if you do it. It really is. It's wasteful. You can easily test into it. And if you look at the most successful e-commerce company in the world, Amazon, they don't take risks. They don't take any risks. They look at data from what people are selling, and they buy into that merchandise. And that's how they're successful. Walmart went from 10 million to 50 million SKUs in 2017 through dropshipping alone. So what do you need? You need product sourcing apps. This is where Shopify excels. The Shopify app network is extensive. It's really powerful. I'm going to go into a little bit detail here. General products, so shoes, socks, sunglasses, electronics, anything you can think of is the top. Bottom is apparel, so this is print on demand. That means that you're putting your design on a t-shirt and they're making it to order for you. Again, it's really powerful. You don't have to guess. Size runs, if you've been in apparel, there's a lot of pain points in that you're going to get natural shrink from size and styles that go out of stock or just aren't in popular anymore. So general products, let's start with Oberlo. This is the #1 Shopify dropshipping app. Part of the reason for that is it's owned by Shopify. They started about 3 years ago as a Latvian company. A couple developers scraped AliExpress, which is a extension of Alibaba with one-off products. And what they did is they basically went to the equivalent of eBay in China and said, hey, we'll just copy these images and text and prices, and we'll put it in your site, and you can make some adjustments to it. They made it really easy to do that. So it's a retail arbitrage play. They don't vet their suppliers. They have an incredible product selection. It's all very, very cheap because it's about 2 or 3 degrees separated from the manufacturer. So you're very close to actual source. But there are problems. I was talking to somebody on the way over for a story, and this is like perfect for this talk. They had a $2.5 million Shopify business in 6 months. They started this in summer last year. Within 6 months, they generated $2.5 million worth of sales, all off of Oberlo. Amazing. Except in the middle of Q4, they had 3,000 returns. Their Oberlo supplier had off, basically, the closer you are to the coast in China, the more quality your manufacturing is. They pushed it in coast. So they found that they could actually make these products cheaper at a different factory. The factory started fulfilling orders with something else. So you had about $450,000 in profits that were dried up to go to returns and satiate customer needs. So you went from, oh, this is amazing. I built this huge multi-million-dollar company. I'm going to write myself a fat $500,000 paycheck from profits at the end of the year to, I'm not sure if I'm going to owe more to my customers at the end of this than I'm going to make off of it. So there are nightmare scenarios, and that's a scary one. So Product Pro, that's the software that we created. We created that because of these stories. We hear them all the time. It's vetted suppliers that are US-based. So these are products that are in the United States. They're vetted. We actually touch and feel them. These shoes are from Product Pro. I don't think I'm wearing anything else. Sorry, guys. But quality products, more expensive than Oberlo, much faster delivery, and it's going to get your customer what's described and what you listed. Modalist, similar, they're a hybrid. They started as a boutique provider in the fashion industry, and they've expanded, so they do an integration with Wish, again, kind of cheap products. So they're kind of a middle-tier provider. Dropify is like Oberlo, but they're kind of this kind of cool underground version of it. Apparel-wise, so Printful, everyone in here heard of Printful? You guys familiar? Okay. So they're the number one. They have a great mock software. So when I say mock, it's you put your design on a t-shirt and they make it look good. They integrate with some cool mock softwares as well. The downside, they're expensive and they're mid-tier quality, and their fulfillment is hit or miss. So again, once it gets to Q4, which in retail is the most important time for most of us, they'll generally extend their fulfillment times to 2 and 3 weeks, which is incredibly, incredibly painful as a retailer to tell your customer, hey, wait 2 more weeks. By the way, I can't get customer service with these guys, for your product. So Airwaves, Inkzone, Traxler are all apps that we work with in some way. We don't necessarily get anything from these guys other than they run our software and pay us to do so. But Airwaves and Traxler was at this presentation, I think, 4 months ago. They have great offerings. They are fulfillers. So these guys are not software companies like Printful. They're truly t-shirt and apparel fulfillers. So they have an excellence there that surpasses the Printfuls of the world. We're their software. T-Scape's another interesting one out of Iowa. We do some work with them as well. But it's a good mid-tier offering. They're really good at fulfilling anything on Zazzle. Most of the stuff on Redbubble is fulfilled through their fulfillment facility. So doing the most. So what to consider. If you guys really want to be good at retail in general, especially drop shipping, you have to do these things. Your brand has to have a focus. So one of the first things people do when they download an Oberlo or Product Pro or Modalist, they see tens of thousands of products and they get so excited. So they put everything into a store. And then you have a store that sells electronics and apparel. And all of a sudden you're like, am I competing with Amazon? Am I selling everything to everybody? You can't compete. You can't do that. So have a focus. Have a brand story and fit your product selection, your merchandising within that brand story. That's really important. But don't get too caught up in your brand. We get one of the easiest things to do in this industry is you start to read about what a brand is, how important it is, and you go crazy and you say, I need custom logos and packaging and I want my shirts to have tags that match my brand and all this stuff. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I can tell you it doesn't matter. We've seen huge brands grow with just basic white label drop shipping. And the ones that ask for all that, it's the easiest way to tell a novice out of the group. They're hitting up the Printfuls, the Product Pros, the Airwaves, and they're saying, I want all this stuff. They instantly go to the queue that is these guys don't really know what they're doing. That was a very common technique in the late 90s. Abercrombie, here, a local company, led the surge. Put your logos loud and proud. Everybody will buy it and spread the word. Doesn't exist. Look at modern retail trends. It doesn't exist. You don't want those logos. It doesn't matter nearly as much as your story and your message. Customize. When you get a product in your store, customize the title, the product, the description, the images. Make those your own. Don't just take a product off of an Oberlo or a Product Pro, put it in your store, and expect that it'll differentiate itself. You need to do that differentiation. That's the legwork that will set you apart and make it so when somebody looks at your site, they don't copy-paste a title into Google and find that somewhere else cheaper. Beyond that, test your product suppliers. If you're ordering from Oberlo, you want cheap products, order it yourself. See how long it takes. See how long it takes Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. Chinese New Year is a huge consideration there in Q1, and Q4 demands a huge consideration. Do the same on Product Pro or anything else. You want to test anyone you have a relationship with because you're going to invest in marketing. And if you're investing in marketing, you need to be confident that the customer experience is a positive one. And then extend your aisle, but don't go endless. As I said, extend your aisle. If you have products today and you're not drop shipping, drop ship. It's out of respect to your customers. If your customers can only come to you for a small product selection, they're not going to come to you often enough, and it's going to be expensive to find those customers. If they trust you as the go-to source for whatever your field is, and you can extend your aisle, they're going to come back. It's going to be cheaper to acquire them. You're going to cross-sell and upsell them, and you're going to make a lot of money. It's fantastic. So Shopify makes it easy. To recap, go to the Shopify store, look at product fulfillment. If you guys download Product Pro, use Shopify CBus for 30 days free. But try them all. Play around with them. Do some test orders. Check out the products and build up your business case. And you can be wildly successful. It's easier than ever to make money on Shopify now with dropshipping apps. Thank you.